Before I get started, I do consulting on where you can move. I'll work with you to find the perfect place for you to move to. There's more information at the end of the video about that. Now let's get started. The worst YouTube comments of all time. Worst comments ever. So I was going through some of this channel's comments the other day, and I was like, some of these comments are gold, and some of them are really mean and really weird. The thing about YouTube comments is most of the time people are anonymous, so they say what they really feel, and you people feel very strongly about quite a few things. So I thought I should share some of the comments with everybody who might have missed them. For example, the video that started all this off was when I was looking at the video I published last year called I Drove Through the Worst Ghettos Ever Seen. In the video I show some of the worst places I've ever visited. Cities like Camden, New Jersey, Baltimore, Detroit, East Cleveland, and parts of Pittsburgh. Though, I have to say, I've seen some areas even worse than that since that video was published, I'll tell you that. But the comments on the video were very remarkable. Like this one. This video is terrible. Every city has good and bad areas. Do you live in a bubble or something? No bubble here, pal. Jude W. Lennon says, you won't even stop. You're coward. So stop with the bullshit. This is somebody to pitch your ass out of there one time. Is that a veiled threat? Many people said these ghettos are like this because of democratic leadership. Okay. Many people wondered about cars. Apparently people feel that there's lots of nice cars parked in these hoods. John J. Johnington 3 says, where do these cars come from? Who has a nice 2020 Toyota Corolla? Okay. And then Alpha Omega says, it's drug dealers and the cartel. Or maybe it's just old people stuck in their homes. Oh. If your car broke down, would you make it out alive? I hope so, G-Man. Seems like there is a one common theme to all these places. What is that supposed to mean? How can people call these ghettos home? That's mean. It's our house, Vincent Sherner Cassie. I'm happy you did this drive. Some kid decades from now is going to try to go on the same little trip. Oh God, I hope not. I want to know how the great old US of A really care for our land. Stolen land. You could go through here and fix it all, and in 5 years it'd look this way again. I would hope not, but you might be right, Lauren Struthers. You're going to get yourself killed. You stop at stop signs. No, I never stop at stop signs in the hood. Or I try not to anyways. And our government is giving money to illegals when they could be helping these Americans? So true, Melody Delgado. So true. There's something wrong about a white guy calling places ghetto. Y'all are the reason they're like that. Okay, that's the problem with race relations in this country. Now it's time for This Ghetto Looks Like Somewhere Else, where people compare these ghettos to other places they think are also ghetto, I guess. Robin Morano says it's worse in India. Yeah, I can believe that. The UK and Italy has much worse places. Do they? Detroit looks like Hiroshima. It's not that bad. Come on now. This is nothing compared to Alabama. Nothing is worse than the Tenderloin in San Francisco. Half of these look like any neighborhood in Indianapolis. Louisville, Kentucky looks like this. This looks like the end of the world. This looks like a typical area in Russia.
Fuck Russia.
That's right, Mappy. Uh-oh. Watch out. You might get poisoned now. This person says it's better in Mexico. Okay, we'll go there then. And finally, Eric G says, I live in Pittsburgh. A lot of people complain about gentrification here, but should an area remain permanently stuck as a poverty and crime-ridden area so people can have cheaper rent? This one gets a heart. Click. So I did this video on the blackest cities in the country, where I listed the cities with the highest African-American populations. There were a lot of weird and interesting and mean comments on this one, and you should have seen the ones that were moderated out. As you might expect, lots of people mentioned the stereotypes I referenced in the video. Some people mentioned the stereotypes that black folks can't swim. Cleopatra III says, of course New Orleans made the list. The black people can't swim came from Katrina. And then a bunch of emojis that look like duh. Angela Mobley says the reason black people aren't good swimmers is because racists put acid in public swimming pools. Wait, is that true? Let's Google a little bit and see what we can find out. I don't see anything on here about that. I didn't think it was true. Oh wait, what's this? Wait, what? Oh wow, maybe it is true. People poured acid into the white-only pools back in the 60s in the South? Damn, that's messed up. Who does that? There's also a stereotype that the black population drives Toyota Camrys. Tijuana Logan says, if we black folk are in a Toyota Camry, it's so we can keep a low profile and not get pulled over. Okay. Coaster Kane says, I don't know any blacks with a Camry. Okay, that's fair. Sharon Prager says, enough with the stereotypes. There are a bunch more. King Irvin says, I'm black and proud, but I hate all those terrible cities because I hate all southern states and I don't like Detroit. It's dangerous. Wow, harsh. Brian Miller says this video made him uncomfortable. Aw, why, Brian? It's just a video. Natural Geek D says African people who were forced into American during the enslavement era should not be referred to as slaves. African people were enslaved. Michael McKisson says I need to do a video about those 38 people living in Jackson, Wyoming. Actually, I should do that, Michael. Drive out to Jackson, Wyoming and see how that's all going. No Touchy says Jackson, Wyoming has a lot of bagel Americans, so it's an intellectual ghetto and a leftist shithole. What the hell's a bagel American? Some people spit comments as facts, like Sarah Kelly, who says, black women have more degrees than any other group in America. Google it. Well, I did Google it, and Essence Magazine says black females are getting their degree on, but the study says there's far more black women than black men going to college. We knew that. But when I looked at the research the article referenced, it says black women are not even close to the top 10 for college degrees. So I think Essence Magazine was wrong, Sarah Kelly. Sorry to tell you. Kia B says, your ancestors told my ancestors that our hair was unkempt and that we weren't as smart or hygienic. We had a lot of prejudice against us. Otherwise, I enjoyed the video. Okay, that one started off pretty rough. Lots of people said mean things. Here's a segment called Mean Things. Tim Berger says, Baltimore equals chocolate city.
No.
I know the places to avoid.
No.
Cities to avoid.
No.
Cities to stay away from should be the title in all caps.
No.
Don't worry, Nappy, because Mrs. Shaw says, please do. L. Henry Hammer said, good. Now I know the 10 cities I will never visit. To which Miss Shaw again says, good. Look, she's fighting back in the comments all over the place, telling people to shut up.
Good.
You can say good, Nappy? I thought you only had one word in your whole vocabulary. Hey, look, Brad Sanford says, I want to move to the absolute blackest city in America. Jeremiah Victor Ernest says, I'm from Kenya, and the stereotypes made here is the reality. I love grape juice, watermelon, fried chicken, Kentucky fries chicken, plus waffles. I now know where I want to live when I settle in the United States of America. Wait, what? I should reach out to that guy, dang. I bet he'd actually be a great citizen of this country. Click, click. Okay, so this is a video where I drove around Wilmington, Delaware, which also happens to be where Joe Biden has lived forever now. Wilmington, in case you didn't know, is really dangerous and run down in big parts of the city. In the video, I went to the worst parts of town and made a lot of comments about how Joe Biden probably didn't even know how bad things are, like 5 minutes from his house. As you can imagine, there were a lot of let's go Brandon and FJB comments. Lots of people made corn pop references. Corn Pop, in case you didn't know, is supposedly a big bad black dude who Joe Biden says he stood up to once in Wilmington. I guess he was trying to say, you know, how tough he is. My friend Matt asked if I visited Corn Pop's house. Hey, Corn Pop, if you're watching this, email me. Let's talk. Sheila Chambers called Biden a lying oligarch warmonger 3 times. Joe, do you have a comment? No? I don't think you can hear me. Bonnie Curry says Delaware's witching hour is 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Yes, Bonnie, you're right. Unlike most of the inner cities I visited, the hoods in Wilmington were popping early. Click. Lots of people made nasty liberal city comments. KCP 622 says this country is littered with decaying Democratic-run cities that continue to enable its citizens to be lazy, sit home, and collect a check in exchange for their vote. But Sir Francis counters with, and you act like because it's liberal, it's trash? It would be trash, Republican, or Democrat, genius. He's probably right. Or there's this, public welfare creates generations of abuse and destroys these neighborhoods, and the slumlords milk it with Section 8 rentals. Wow, strong words. D. Young lives in Wilmington, and she had a really long comment, and she said, I didn't even see the really bad parts. What the heck? I thought the parts I saw were terrible. What? There's worse? Mexicans for Trump. Okay. And then right underneath it, free crack pipes. Dominican for Trump. 100%. Okay. Politicians ain't shit. Sometimes I'm confused if Joe is the president of the U.S. or Ukraine. Delaware should not be a state. Why? Nothing left to steal, no one left to rape, just a lot more people to murder. Ouch, dang. Okay, so lots of people brought up me running that red light. I was sitting at a red light and it was about midnight, and I didn't realize I was about to turn left and go down a one-way street in the ghetto. And you can see here the police officer hits his lights. I think he was trying to tell me, do not go in there, white guy. LOL emoji. Can you help me relocate? Actually, I can, Bubby Sparks. I can. Email me, and I can hop on a call with you and tell you where you should move. I do it all the time. Blockscast says, Mappy will always be my favorite. Hey, Mappy, that's twice somebody mentioned you, and it's only been 23 hours ago.
You didn't like it.
Oops. Click. And finally, I did this video when I drove through Berkeley, California, and I talked to a resident there about how Berkeley's changed. It's always been a very liberal place, but today, freedom of speech and acceptance is not tolerated. The place is filled with liberal elites who are way out of touch with the people who they vow to protect. As you might expect, it generated a bunch of feedback. Lots of people seem to agree. The entire Wu-Tang Clan says, Berkeley, California, the place where people with coexist stickers on their Priuses will give each other the middle finger for driving too slowly. Wow, the entire Wu-Tang Clan? I like Wu-Tang. Hey guys, I didn't even know you watched my channel. They also added Berkeley is also the place where all the rich people avoid eye contact with the bums, even though they have everyone is welcome signs in their front lawns. Good one, guys. Dave Ruthenberg replied that he always sees refugees welcome signs all over the Bay Area, but that's absurdly performative. Good term, Dave. When only the wealthy can afford to live there, you might as well have a Martians welcome sign. That is a good comment. Click. Click. James Hyburn says, don't call them elites. And 105 people liked it. That's a lot. That might be his record for any comment he ever made on YouTube. Good for you, James. The whole state is turning into one big berserkly, says Grits and Granola. That's kind of true. Thomas Ziegler says, there is no place more out of touch with the normal world than a college town. That's also kind of true. Lord of Clip says, the video doesn't capture how soul-crushing Berkeley is. Wow, you guys are so mean-spirited. What the hell? Lynn Whalen compares Berkeley to Boulder, Colorado. Is it really like that in Boulder? Hope not. XX says, the beauty of places like Berkeley is that they take in the homeless and illegals and give them money and tents and drugs, and the rest of the country should be grateful these bleeding heart cities take in all these freeloading Burman. That's harsh. Denver Du Bois has a huge comment that I had to zoom out to squeeze in, but he basically says Berkeley used to be edgy, rebellious, and gritty, and it was also beautiful and affordable back in the day. Berkeley today, Denver Du Bois says, is a different world. Today it's tent cities, blight, trash, and multi-million-dollar houses. It's angry progressives and yuppie limousine liberals plotting the demise of America. Wow, dang, want a job, Denver Du Bois? That was a good one. And those were some of the worst YouTube comments ever, people. Or maybe they're the best ones? What do you think? The worst YouTube comments of all time. Worst comments ever. Are you looking to move and need advice? I do consulting. That's right. I'll sit down and talk about where the next perfect place for you and your family should be. I do it all the time. Together, let's find you a new home that's safe and checks all your boxes. You can get my email in the description to find out how I can help you find your perfect relocation. And I can also help you find your new house too. Email me and I'll work with you on not just helping you figure out where to move, but I can help you find your perfect home too. That's right. I know awesome, reliable agents all over the country, and I'd love to connect you to somebody who can help you search for that perfect home. Hey guys, if you learned something new about America or what it's like to live in America, great. You should think about subscribing and turning on your notifications. You can also click one of these videos or playlists for more. You can also now buy my songs on iTunes and other formats. Click the link in the description. Thanks for watching. And remember, while we all might have different views, we should all be nice to each other and try to make the U.S. a better place in a positive way.
This is Sage, Nick's manager. This has been a Corner House Entertainment production.